comment and let me know what that means or how you would improve that sign to keep people safe. The other day, I saw this reel about an alligator in a gym. Can you believe it? I sent it to a few of my students and they didn't believe it was real. They thought surely this was AI. Well, I did a little bit of digging and it is absolutely real and it happens. As I was digging into it, I learned a few things about alligators and saw some advanced vocabulary that I wanted to share with you. So let's get into it. First, let's watch the reel that started all of this. One of my students was like, does that really happen? No way. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this really happens in Florida because alligators are everywhere. And I went to Google and just typed in, how often do alligators show up in public places in Florida? And here are the results. Alligators are often found throughout Florida in nearly all water bodies, making sightings in public areas like golf courses, parks, and retention ponds common, particularly during the April to June mating season, and that's where we are. While 1.3 million alligators exist in the state, they rarely approach people, though they may appear in unexpected areas like parking lots or pools. And then as I scrolled down and kept reading, I saw nuisance alligators, and I thought, nuisance is a great word to teach my students. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission actually has a statewide nuisance alligator program. People concerned about an alligator should call our toll-free nuisance alligator hotline. Generally, an alligator is deemed a nuisance if it is at least 4 feet in length and the caller believes it poses a threat to people, pets, or property. And SNAP is the acronym for Statewide Nuisance Alligator Program. SNAP uses contracted nuisance alligator trappers throughout the state to remove alligators from locations where they are unwanted or unwelcome. So what is a nuisance? A nuisance is a person, thing, or situation that causes annoyance, inconvenience, or trouble. It frequently refers to minor irritations. The synonyms include annoyance, bother, pest, irritant, and pain in the neck. I wanted to teach this phrase, pain in the neck, because it is a set phrase. You cannot change it and swap out neck for another body part. If you do that, a native speaker will just look at you strangely because we don't say that.
You're a pain in the neck.
What is a pain in the neck?
You're fixing up a pain in the neck for your boyfriend.
A pain in the neck and an IQ of 3. You're a pain in the neck, Ethan.
I came across this article which has some nice vocabulary, so I'm going to read it. Feel free to listen to me and then pause and then you practice reading it. I'm also including a list of the new vocabulary for you to help you understand the article more. Interactive map shows where Florida's nuisance alligators are. Kimberly Miller, The Palm Beach Post, Florida Times-Union. April is alligator courting season, which means the frisky crocodilians may be venturing out more in the hopes of finding a companion before mating season begins in earnest in May and June. With an estimated 1.3 million alligators in Florida, the state's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is warning the public to be aware of the increase in alligator activity this time of year and the possibilities of encountering them. And don't think the prehistoric predators are confined to wildlife areas. A map of where nuisance alligators have been removed includes all areas of the state, from Pensacola to the Keys. They can literally be in any puddle of water, said Boynton Beach resident Richard Cochran, who removed nuisance alligators for the state last year when an unrelated back injury sidelined him. Not to scare people, but there are over 1 million of them, and they are all around. That's scary. Statewide, 6,700 nuisance alligators were killed or relocated in 2017. That increased to 7,114 last year, according to FWC data. Areas with the highest removals are in and around Tampa, Sarasota, Orlando, Fort Myers, and Jacksonville. Tampa topped the list in 2017 with 181 nuisance gators, but was bested last year by Sarasota, which tallied 205. West Palm Beach and its suburbs racked up a total of 205 removals over the past 2 years, with 139 taken from Wellington and 77 from Palm Beach Gardens. Even tiny Palm Beach had at least one removed during the same time period when a wayward gator found itself on the beach side of the intracoastal. Intracoastal. They've been at people's front doors, in retention ponds, swimming pools, Cochran said. Pools aren't uncommon. They just push through the screen and off they go. American alligators are no longer an endangered species, but are protected under a classification that allows only people with special licenses and permits to take them. That means Floridians can't just call up the local alligator trapper to remove one like they would if it were a raccoon or possum. Instead, the FWC operates the statewide nuisance alligator program, where people can report a suspicious gator. The FWC decides whether it poses a risk and will then assign a trapper that it contracts with and licenses. Cochran said if a nuisance gator is 4 feet or longer and the trapper doesn't have a special permit to take it alive, it's usually killed. Otherwise, nuisance gators can be sold to an alligator farm. I don't like to kill them, and I had a license not to for a couple of years. I found it more enjoyable to be good to them, he said. Over the past decade, Florida has averaged 7 unprovoked alligator bites to humans per year that are serious enough to require medical treatment. From 1948 through 2008, 410 unprovoked bites have occurred, with 25 ending in the person's death. One of the people killed was 10-year-old Bradley Weidenhammer, or Wiedenhammer, who died after he was attacked by a 400-pound alligator on the Waxahachie River in 1993. In June 2016, 2-year-old Elaine Graves died after he was snatched from the shore of a Disney World resort by an alligator. 6 alligators were killed following the boy's death. 2 years later, in June 2018, an alligator killed 47-year-old plantation resident Shizuka Matsuki while she walked her dogs in Davies Silver Lakes Rotary Nature Park. When temperatures rise, an alligator's metabolism increases and they begin seeking prey, an FWC press release says. Although alligator bite incidents resulting in serious injury are rare in Florida, the FWC recommends taking precautions when having fun in and around the water. Anyone with concerns about an alligator should call the statewide nuisance alligator program at 866-392-4286. This story was originally posted to palmbeachpost.com and shared to Gatehouse's Florida websites. Let's talk about some of the new vocabulary in the article. In the first paragraph, we have frisky. Frisky is an adjective describing something playful and full of energy. Crocodilians is a scientific word for alligators and crocodiles. I was wondering, why is the word crocodilian describing alligators? I thought alligators and crocodiles were different. Let's dive into that. Alligator versus crocodile. What's the difference? At a glance, alligators and crocodiles look nearly identical. Both are massive reptiles with armored skin, powerful jaws, and a prehistoric lineage that stretches back more than 200 million years. These closely related reptiles belong to the order Crocodilia, a group that also includes caimans and gharials. Never heard of gharial. Color is also a bit different, with alligators being darker, crocodiles having a lighter olive or tan shade. The alligators live mostly in freshwater, while the crocodiles live in freshwater and saltwater. You can see in these photos the key difference is the snout shape, and snout is just the name for an animal's nose. We often call a pig's nose a snout as well. So the alligator has a wide, rounded U-shaped snout, while the crocodile has a narrower V-shaped snout. The alligator's lower teeth are usually hidden when its mouth is closed, and the crocodile's lower teeth may be visible when the mouth is closed. Courting season is something you can see on Bridgerton. Courting season is synonymous with mating season. puddle. A puddle refers to a small area of standing water. Tallied refers to the counted number or the total number. Suburbs are residential neighborhood areas, usually outside of the city center, moving towards the outskirts of the city. Wayward means difficult to control.
I could offer something about how a shepherd leads even the most wayward of his flock.
Well, I see you managed to corral our wayward star.
Difficult for me at the moment with this murder case nuisance.
In other words, you have no experience whatsoever, but because you've made a nuisance of yourself, demanding a chance. You're making a nuisance of yourself.
I hope you enjoyed learning about alligators today. Use nuisance, a pain in the neck, or some of the other vocabulary we practice in conversation.
See you later, alligator.